Yes, you are. Come on in, Holy Spirit. You are welcome. Holy Spirit, you are welcome. You are welcome in this place. Holy Spirit, you are welcome. Yes, you are. Consuming fire, sweet perfume, awesome presence. Come fill this room. Consuming fire, sweet perfume, awesome presence. Come fill this room. Oh, Holy Spirit, we need your presence. Come on in here, God. Oh, Holy Spirit. Yes, God. Oh, yes. Holy Spirit, you are welcome. You're welcome in this place. Move amongst us, God. We need you. Yes, God. Consuming fire. Oh, sweet perfume. Your awesome presence. Come fill this room. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sweet perfume. Your awesome presence. Come fill this room. Yeah. Holy Spirit, you are welcome. Come on in, Jesus. We need you, Lord. Yes, we do. Holy Spirit, come on in, Jesus. Welcome in this place. Yeah, 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 yeah. Welcome in. Yeah. Come on, put your hands together. Come on, invite the Holy Ghost wherever you are sitting at, wherever you are drowning at right now. He's gonna come in if you invite him in. Yeah, 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 yeah. Come on, say welcome. Oh, welcome. We need you, Lord. You are welcome. Come on in, Jesus. We need your word. We need your word. Yeah. Send your love rain, Jesus. We need your rain, God. Come on in, Jesus. You are invited in, Jesus. You are welcome. We need you. Send your glory, God. We need you, Lord. We need you, Jesus. Come on in, God. You are welcome. Welcome in. Welcome in. Yes. This place. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hi, my name is Pastor Otis Petteway at the Victory Community Church, and I'm here to welcome you to our online virtual campus. I want you to take advantage of everything that we have available for you. You can join in. You can go to our website. On our website, you can learn about the ministry. You can get to know me and First Lady. You can get to know the different parts of our ministry, things that we're offering. This is your first time joining with us. don't hesitate to go to our first time guest page, and you can fill out information and keep in touch with everything that we have going on there. You can see our new app, you can see our text to give, our different services that we offer throughout the week. I just want to take time out of our schedule and out of your busy schedule to thank you for joining with us. And also I wanted to thank you for allowing us to be a part of what you're doing in your everyday life. And I hope that while you're here, something is said, something is done that will bless you and help you continue to go along your journey. Love you.
Like a river, attending my soul. When sorrows like sea billows. When sorrows like sea billows roll. It is well. It is well with my soul. Yes, Lord.
It is well.
It is well
With my soul.
with my soul. Say it again.
It is well.
It is well.
With my soul.
With my soul. It is well. It is well.
My soul.
My soul. Do you have a favorite hymn?
Oh my God.
Sing one. I'll follow you.
Put me in A flat. Blessed assurance, Jesus is mine. Oh, what a foretaste of glory divine. I'm an heir of salvation. First of all, I'm been born of His Spirit. I've been washed in His blood. Perfect submission. All at rest. I and my Savior. Happy and blessed. I'm watching and waiting. I'm looking above, filled with His goodness, washed in His love. This is my story. This is my song. I'm praising my Savior all day long. This is my story. Whoa, this is my song. I'm praising my Savior all the day long. That's my favorite.
That'll never get old.
Sorry about that. I realized we had a technical issue. Mute button was pressed. Again, thank you so much, everyone, for being here, being with us, for being a part of what God is doing here. I am super excited, super proud to be a part of what God is doing and where God is taking us. I'm going to ask that you take a moment to share this out, share this word out. I promise you, you don't want to miss it. We've been consistent. We've been there. Been working through it. Been working through this series on spiritual warfare. So I'm excited about it. I'm excited about what God is doing, how God is making a way for us, how God is moving us in this time in this season. I'm asked that you, if you have a Bible, go with me to Ephesians. Ephesians, the 6th chapter. Ephesians 6. Is the sound back on? Someone let me know. I see some comments saying the sound was off. Let me know if the sound is back on. Let me know if the sound is back on. Ephesians 6, verse 12. We're going to continue our spiritual warfare series. Guys, understand this, that the enemy is after us. The enemy is trying to come for us. He's trying to come after our minds, our bodies, our hearts. Before we get into tonight's lesson, I got to take a moment to shout out our First Lady, our senior lead servant. She preached her out of her soul on Sunday. That word, the war between two worlds, preaching, as my pastor would say, in support of the vision. Preaching that thing about the battle of the mind and how you fight this battle in your mind and how we struggle with the stuff that we deal with. So tonight we're going to continue on the same vein on talking about this battle, but we're going to talk about tonight our topic will be, where are we fighting? Where is the location? Why and what are we fighting? Well, this fight, let's describe this fight. That's what we're going to do tonight. Where are we fighting? Ephesians 6 and 12 says this, and I'm going to get into it. It says, for our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the authorities, against the powers of darkness of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realm. I'm going to read that one more time. This is the NIV. I told you all quite often. I quote King James. I read NIV, so I'm trying to read it in my head. Good evening, everybody. Ephesians 6 and 12 says this: for our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in heavenly places. I'm going to tie something that we know very well to something that we really don't know well at all. And at that, I'm going to match these two things up and try to see if we can line them up. Let me give you some statistics. As of October the 26th, 2020, there are 909 total cases of positive testing for COVID. And of those 109,000 cases, 224 deaths, 224,000 deaths. Watch this. Now, why would you compare COVID with spiritual warfare? Walk with me, because we just read this text. We just talked about it, that we don't wrestle against flesh and blood. But what we're wrestling against is an invisible enemy. It's not a physical fight. You cannot put them hands on the enemy. You cannot run them things up against the enemy. You must wrestle him in spirit. You have to be able to do this warfare in the spirit. Watch this. An enemy that you can't see. Watch this. Both of them. Let me show you some similarities between the enemy and this COVID thing, how they've lined each other up. The enemy, watch this, the enemy that you can't see attacks the body that you can see. That the enemy that you cannot see attacks the physical. The invisible attacks the physical. Y'all gonna give me in a minute. That what you're fighting, what you're struggling with in this spiritual fight, It's a spiritual enemy. It's an invisible enemy. It's an enemy that cannot be traced physically by the natural eye, by what you can see. Well, you can see it on the microscope. You maybe can, but unless you're walking around with it, it's invisible to you. That's why you got to wear these gloves. You got to wear these masks. You got to wear these face shields. You have to wash your hands on a regular basis. You have to sanitize yourself. I mean, come on, y'all. It's just so much that you have to do to keep yourself safe. And I'm going to talk tonight just about some similarities that we can run into and run through that ties us between what you see in this COVID fight that we're in 2020, in a pandemic, in a situation where you have been quarantined, cut off, and dealt with stuff. And on the other side, you're in a spiritual fight. You're in a fight that you've been cornered. It attacks your body. It attacks your mind. It attacks your will. It attacks your heart. And well, preacher, why would you say all of this about? And I know, I mean, if I'm talking to somebody, help me out. I want to make sure that we're getting it. That this fight, well, Pastor, this spiritual warfare has nothing really to do with COVID. That there's no similarities to the attack of the enemy and the attack of COVID. Well, you haven't had it. And I'm gonna tell you, because I've not had it myself, but what I have had is testimonies of those that have had it. And because I don't have to be Thomas, I don't have to experience it for myself, I'm listening to those that have struggled with said issue. And they said there were times where they got ready to give up. No, it's an invisible enemy. You're not supposed to want to give up. It's not supposed to have an issue with you. It's not supposed to weigh on you. But if COVID can make you give up, it can make you throw in the towel. It can make you, no matter how many Bible verses you got, it physically attacks you, and it comes in invisibly. There's no meter for it. There's no recollection to be able to stop and control it. But what it can do is it can come into your life and wreak shock on everything you have going on. That's how the enemy works. That he comes in, he sneaks into your life. That we realize that the enemy comes in through people, places, and things. That he comes in through stuff. He comes in through the things that you're trying to figure out how he's going to deal with what he's dealing with. You're trying to figure out where the enemy is. But watch this, because he deals with transference. He puts it on you. It's a transmittable disease. It's a transmitted issue. It comes from touch. It comes from sight. It comes through your senses. The enemy attacks you through your senses. If he cannot physically get to you, he can put somebody on the phone that'll disrupt your peace. Watch this. If it doesn't kill you, it's designed to make your system weak. Watch this, y'all. That whatever attacks you, when it finishes, it will finish you off. That the attack of the enemy, you keep trying to fight the enemy the way you want to. And why would you tell us this in the middle of a Bible study series on spiritual warfare? Because we have to get our stamina up. We have to get to the place in God that we don't get tired of fighting the good fight. You cannot give up, because the enemy will never give out. You cannot throw in the towel when it seems like the enemy has come against you. Watch this, y'all. What it does is it's designed to make you weak. It's designed to weigh you down. It's designed to slow you down. But what I've also realized is, through medical science, is that the disease it attacks your system. But what it does is it makes you weak where you don't want to move. But it's your not moving that causes more problems. It's the sitting still that makes sickness sit in on your lungs. It's the sitting still that causes your body to start shutting down. It's the sitting still that causes the problem. But why are you telling us this? This pneumonia, that's the word I was looking for. The pneumonia sets in from you sitting still with the disease. And that's a problem. That if you bow under the attack of the enemy, your body will start to shut down, and disease and spiritual issues will start to seep in, and you'll start doing stuff you don't want to do. They call it a cough. It's an involuntary cough. It's your breathing gets weak. That which was easy to you before becomes hard. You were easy to walk past the situation. That wasn't even a struggle of yours until you let something seep into your system that didn't kill you. It just weakened you. See, I need 2 or 3 people that says, I'm strong, I'm strong, I'm strong. I'm willing to stand strong on what I believe. I'm willing to stand strong on what I have going on, because this fight that I'm fighting is not flesh and blood. But watch this. If I'm feeling it in my flesh, then there has to be something that I'm missing. There has to be something that has entered me that I cannot see, because it's affecting what I can see. My God. COVID seeks those who who we have called a weakened immune system. Means that your body is not set up to fight. And some of us, because of a horrible spiritual maturity and spiritual exercise and spiritual exposure, because you have not had a spiritual experience on a regular basis with God, and you're not standing up with God, you're not working with God, you're not dealing with God, you don't have a relationship where you can depend on God, and then the enemy attacks you. You have a weakened system. You have not been building your system up. The problem with us today is not that you don't go to church, it's that you don't work it out. You went to the class and learned exercises, but you don't walk out what you've yet learned. And when you don't work out what you've learned, then the problem is that you start missing stuff, because what's on the outside starts affecting that which is on the inside. How do you know that something is wrong with your body when something just don't feel right? Come on, y'all. That COVID seeks those, that the enemy comes after those that are weak, because they are easy to get inside of. They're easy to manipulate. They're easy to take control of. They're easy to make convinced that they're alone, that they're quiet, that God does not care. They're easy. Watch this. If it was not for the attack, the weakened system wouldn't be a problem. If it was not under attack, the weakened immune system would not be a problem. The problem only shows when you are out and about and a fight comes, and then your shortcomings are now on display for the enemy to use. That's the problem. That's the spiritual fight that we're in, because you come to this fight to fight flesh and blood, and the problem is that the enemy uses people, but they're not demonic. Watch this. Their actions can cause a demonic influence, but they aren't the demon. You fighting them, and the demon is long gone. Y'all don't want to talk to me. The same way you realize that that's how the enemy comes in, and how do you fight this enemy? I got 3 things, and I'm gonna be out of your way. 3 things, and I'm gonna get out of y'all way. I'm 90% done, and I hadn't even got to my point. Do y'all see this similarity between this attack of the enemy through the thing that you, through your touch, through your watch this, y'all. I'm a bless 2 or 3 people. I'm a bless 2 people that been struggling with their issues with covering their mouth. That the problem is that you get tired of wearing the physical mask. You got a physical mask that you've put on because you went outside and you strapped it behind your ears, and you're breathing. And if you're like me, you got glasses and they fogging up, and you got all of this stuff going on. But the problem is that the mask is designed, watch this, oh my God. The mask is designed to stop what's in your mouth from coming out of your mouth. Ooh. Because some of us needed to put a shield on your spiritual mouth to cover up from you speaking some stuff. Oh my God. You're struggling because you speak stuff, and because, as the CDC calls it, the droplets can reach other people, and you infect them by your speech. Ooh. God is talking to me tonight. I'm gonna have to go back and watch this all over again. That sometimes the struggle in your spiritual life is because you have a speech issue, because the COVID the disease, the attack, the pandemic that has ran crazy in your life has shut you out and shut you down because you don't understand that what you're dealing with and what you're going through is because you spoke when you should have had a cover on. How many people have you gotten sick because you refuse to put your mask on? You refuse to put your face shield, your covering. Watch this, because what you find out is that you're wearing a mask does not protect you. It's the mask is not for you. It's for those around you. Because if you have it, it stops the droplets in your mouth from getting out. Oh my God. That the problem is that you keep speaking stuff in people's ears and they become intoxicated and infected from what you speak because you spoke it in the spirit realm and now it's manifesting in the natural and you're trying to figure out how you got to where you are. But you spoke that broke day in your life while you were saying that I'm broke and I'm tired and you trying to figure out what's wrong with your body, but you didn't put your mask on and you infected other people with it by telling them that you can be saved, sanctified, going to church every week and loving God, and then you still end up in a situation. You still end up in hurt. You can still, and they feel like how I feel. If serving God leaves me in as much pain and problem as you haven't, I can stay out there. I can stay out where I am. Three things. I'm gonna get out of your way. That I'm gonna tie this spiritual battle that we're fighting with this enemy, this invisible enemy, the devil, the thief, as Jesus calls him. How can you fight this battle? Where are we fighting? How do you fight this fight? First thing you do, you have to educate yourself. You have to educate. You have to learn. Whew. It's right here. I got Bible for it. It's right. Matthew 11:29. Matthew 11:29. One of my favorite verses in the Bible. I say it again. One of my favorite verses in the Bible. It says this: "Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls." Let me say it again. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your soul. My God, I'm preaching better than y'all saying amen. I missed the Tuesday, I missed the Sunday. I've been missing noonday Bible study. Noonday prayer. So y'all got to stick with me. He says, "Take my yoke upon you." You got to educate yourself. Let me walk through this text because I want to talk about educating yourself. He says, "Take my yoke upon you and learn from me." Watch this. Can I walk through this? Y'all, can I walk through it? I just want to walk through it real quick. You have to educate yourself. First thing he says is that take your yoke upon me. Take my yoke upon you. This first word, take, it literally does not mean that he's going to give it to you where you have to receive it. That you have to receive it if you desire it. That he is yet handing it to you, but you will not get it if you don't pick it up yourself. What are you trying to say, preacher? I'm trying to tell you that this is Jesus talking in the text. He's literally saying this. He's saying that if you're going to get the yoke, you're going to have to take it. I'm not going to give it to you and make you take it. This is a voluntary sign up that if you're going to educate yourself on how to receive from God, you're going to have to take my yoke. Not only does he talk about taking, but he tells you whose it is. He says, take mine. Don't take nobody else's. Don't take nobody else's stuff. I'm sick of these people that go to these conferences and learn from other people and come out with demigods, which are human and God together. They are gods in a situation that don't work out the same. I'm sick of people having these idol gods that can sit up on the counter and do all of this other stuff. I need somebody with me that will say, I don't want your yoke. I want God's yoke. I don't want your stuff. Don't give me your mantle. Give me God's mantle. Guess what? You can have the cattle on 1,000 hills, but if it don't have my name on it, I don't want it. Y'all don't want to talk to me. I'm sick of this uneducated mindset that people have developed, where they think that they can come in and just hand you anything and you got to take it because they gave it to you. But baby, let me tell you, the only thing I'm taking is his. He says, my yoke is, take my yoke, the yoke. It's not an egg yoke. I seen somebody do that one time. He's not talking about an egg yoke. He's literally talking about the yoke that they put on cattle. And the yoke is tied to the cattle's neck, and they put it around their neck, but the yoke is normally tied to a younger cow. And the younger cow is put in the yoke with the old adult animal. It doesn't have to be a cow, be an animal. Let's say animal. I'm making sure I'm politically correct. The older animal is yoked to the younger animal, and the younger animal has to learn. So when I walk, you walk. When I come on, y'all know the saying. Y'all know the saying. When I move, you move, just like that. When I dip, you dip. When I sway, you sway. When I stop, you stop. When I back up, you back up. When I go forward, when I speed up, you speed up. But you only can go so far because we're yoked together. Whew. See, it's a difference between being close in proximity to each other and being yoked together. There's a difference between being aligned with each other and being connected to each other. See, my hands right now are aligned with each other. They're in the same line. They would never, if I go straight, they would never touch. But guess what? When they're connected, they make noise. Y'all don't want to talk to me. He says, take my yoke upon you. Take my yoke, take my yoke, take my yoke upon you. Don't give it to nobody else. This scripture wasn't for nobody else. This Bible study wasn't for nobody else. This is mine to give to you. Take my yoke and learn from me. Watch this, y'all. I'm 90% done. For I am gentle and humble in heart. Let me tell you who I am. I am gentle and humble in heart. Why can you say that? And you let me go through what I go through? Because what you don't understand is that if you're in the situation with God, you're always in a safe space, even when you're in a troubled situation. Oh my God, that wasn't bad. You can be in a dangerous situation, but in a safe space. Why? Because I know who I'm with. Baby, you can't make me doubt him. I know too much about him. That come unto, because I am gentle and humble. Watch this, y'all. Last piece. For you will find rest for your soul. Why would you say that when you're talking about educating yourself, preacher? Because I'm trying to get you to understand that some people come in around you and they want to teach you how to be in this battle and fight. But guess what? I'm not offering you me. I'm offering you the principle to be able to get to God. Because this if you educate yourself on how to fight this battle, his yoke is easy. Oh my burden is light. His yoke is easy. My God. And his burden is light. I'm trying to walk through it. Forget everything that you were taught about defending yourself against natural enemies when you're trying to fight this spiritual enemy. If you're going to educate yourself, quit trying to fight the way that you think that everybody else fights him. How you think they won, how you think they got over, how you think that the Lord held them up. Watch this, y'all. When this first came around, they told us to quarantine, get yourself together, put your people in a box and stay at home for 2 weeks. Stay at home. They shut the whole country down. Everybody stay at home because if you aren't around people, you can't have the virus. Oh my God. But the problem is that most of us didn't have stuff stored up on the inside to be able to maintain life on the inside until the outside opened back up. So we had to keep inviting outside stuff inside, and it fooled around and got you messed up. Because you didn't have enough stability on the inside, so you had to go to the outside, not realizing that what the outside people were bringing in, you weren't ready to defend. Oh my God! But then you let them around you. Oh, can I walk it through? I'm trying to get out of here, y'all. I haven't been up here too long. I'm trying to walk it through. that you're going to have to understand that some people around you, this word, medical term, they call it asymptomatic. That the problem is that you are dealing with people that have struggles, but they show no sign. They are as sick as a dog, but you can't tell it. They're in the fight of their life, but looking at them, you can't tell it. They're going through struggles and battles and situations, and you don't know why they're dealing with what they're dealing with, but they asymptomatic. It seems like it don't bother them. It seems like they always come out on top. It seems like they got all of their stuff together, but they asymptomatic, baby. Don't mean that they ain't fighting. It don't mean they ain't sick, but what it does mean is that the battle that they fighting, they don't show signs. It doesn't mean, watch, quit expecting people to walk it out like you. First thing you got to do is educate yourself. Second thing you got to do, I'm almost done, is you have to evaluate yourself. That's 1 Corinthians. 2 Corinthians 10 and 10. 2 Corinthians 3, 10, 3 through 5. 2 Corinthians 10, verses 3 through 5. It reads like this. For we live in the world. We do not wage war as the world does. The weapons we fight with are not weapons of the world. On the contrary, they have divine power to diminish strongholds. We diminish arguments, every pretension set itself against the knowledge of God, and we take captive every thought to God, to every thought to make it obedient to Christ. What are you trying to say, preacher? If you're going to evaluate yourself, look what you got in your hand. That's what they tell you. They come in, they say, have you had any, when you get ready to go in a place, they say, have you been around anybody that's been sick? Do you have a cough? Do you check your temperature? Wash your hands. And some places that might not have the symptoms, the stuff available to them, they provide you with a questionnaire and ask you, have you done these things? Have you handled what you needed to handle? Do you feel well enough to come and fight this stuff? Because the problem with most of us is that we do real good with evaluating other people. It's them self-checks that cause us problem, because when you got to check yourself, it only hurts you when you cheat yourself. I say it like this most of the time. I say this, and some people might disagree. Everybody get an A when they grade their own paper. That you people get A's when they get to grade themselves. But this you giving yourself an A does not give you the victory. Know who you are and how you can transmit what you got. Know what you're struggling with. Know the fight. Know the battle. Know the stuff that you're dealing with and going through and fighting with. Don't let other people's stuff that they've dropped off with you. Because see, sometimes it's the self-examination. It's the self-examination that frees you up to be able to do what you need to do. It's the self-evaluation that allows you to acknowledge that you're in a fight. It's the self-evaluation that lets you come through. The problem with most of us is that we're too uncomfortable with being with us. Can I go through the text one more time? For though we live in the world, don't act like you so heavenly bound, you know earthly good. Though we live in this world, we do not wage war as this world wage war as the world does. For the weapons we fight with are not weapons of the world. Evaluate what you got in your hand. If all of your enemies can be slapped, you got a horrible testimony for the kingdom. If everything against you can be solved with money, you have a horrible testimony. Evaluate yourself. Third thing, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna skip through this field. Let me say this before I get to the third one. Paul used a variety of terms to refer to spiritual enemies. He called them strongholds. He called them divine powers. He called them arguments. He called them against the knowledge of the kingdom. He called them captivities. See, he used all these different terms, but at the end of the day, they're all stumbling blocks. They're all things that come against the kingdom. This is the way that I define demonic attacks. Anything that attempts to weaken the kingdom. Something done on a Monday could be no problem, but if it's done at the wrong time, timing is everything. If it's done at the wrong time, if it aims to weaken the kingdom, it weakens your witness. It's demonic. It's demonic. It's demonic. First thing you got to do, educate yourself. Second thing you got to do is evaluate yourself. Third thing you got to do is execute your lessons. Don't be a bookworm with no life. One of my favorite shows that I just finished watching, I binge watched it since I took my little sabbatical. I watched it all 3 or 4 seasons in less than a week. The Good Place. I watched it. I sat down and watched The Good Place. On The Good Place, there's a guy named Chidi. Chidi was a bookworm. He was a morals professor. That's what he was, and he spent his whole life reading books about being a moral person. And the problem was that he had all of the information in his head, and he got stuck in the paralysis of analysis. So he never did anything. So he never executed the lessons that God had given him. He never executed the lessons he's learned because he was too busy trying to make sure he knew enough so when he did it, he didn't make a mistake. But I came to free 2 or 3 people with a control perfection problem and to tell you today that if you are struggling and straining and trying to figure out how you going to get this thing worked out and how you going to go from this step to this step and how you going to figure this one out and that one out and how you going to do, let me free you up. God designed your detour in your destiny. I just freed 3 people. I felt that in my spirit. God designed your detour in your destiny. Come here, Jonah, that when you get all the way in the middle of the sea and you're trying to run from God, when the enemy throws you over because you shouldn't have been there anyway, there's a fish with your name on it. Y'all don't want to hear me. Quit trying to get perfect and then find God. God says, I can work with whatever you give me, but you got to give me you. Oh my God, execute it. Do something. Okay. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm almost done, y'all. Last verse. Then the end of 1 Corinthians 15:24 says, then the end of the world will come when he hands over the kingdom of God, the Father, after he has destroyed all dominion and authority and power. Watch this, y'all. The devil loses. You might have took a blow, you might have took a hit, you might have dealt with all of this stuff. I get it. I understand where you're coming from. But the problem is that if you don't understand that at the end of the day, the devil loses, you will be scared to fight him because you'll think maybe he's going to win one. No, he's already been determined. It has been predetermined and disposed that he's going to lose this fight. Watch this. It tells us that the principalities and powers have an end. Y'all know one of my favorite sayings. I can't remember where I heard it, but this is the last time I'm going to give them credit for it. That all storms run out of water. That I'm sick of people that don't understand that you are walking through what you're walking through, and you keep thinking that you're going to stay here forever, but all storms run out of water. You cannot stay in the place that you... You may have fallen. Man, y'all don't understand what God is doing. Y'all don't understand. Let me find the words to the song. I don't want to mess it up. Because I feel it. I feel it in my. I ain't saying y'all know I'm not gonna sing. Let me quote the words of our. In case you have fallen by the wayside of life, dreams and visions scattered. You are broken inside. You don't have to stay in the shape that you're in. Watch this, y'all. The potter wants to put you back together again. In case your situation has turned upside down and all you've accomplished is now on the ground, you don't have to stay in the shape that you're in because the potter wants to put you back together again. Come on, y'all. Y'all know the song. It says, joy is in the potter's house, love is in the potter's house, peace is in the potter's house. I need 2 or 3 people that'll celebrate with me on a Tuesday night at 7:51 to say, he will put me back together. That I've been broken, I've been hurt, I've been thrown away. I've been cast down. I've been talked about. I've been lied on. I've been cheated on. I've been scandalized by people that wanted to destroy me. But guess what? I have a word for you today. That watch this. Until you give him to you, he's standing there warning. Why? Because the potter wants to put you back together again. That's my celebration. That's my shout. That's my joy. That's my peace. It's in the fact that, watch this, y'all, he cannot put me back until I acknowledge that I've been broken. You've been broken inside. You've been hurt inside. You've been talked about, and it's set down on the inside of you. But the plan I'm executing will not make me focus on what they said about me. It'll make me focus on who's calling to me. Watch this, y'all, because the potter wants to put me back together. Together. You who are broken, stop by the potter's house. You need mending, stop by the potter's house. Watch this, y'all. This is my favorite point. Give him the fragments of your broken life. The potter wants to put you back together. He will drop your brokenness on top of each other and make your 2 broken pieces look whole. Whew. Because some of us didn't have to be reshaped. We had to be broken. Yeah. See, the spiritual warfare, I love this about it because the thing that I've understood about spiritual warfare and this fight that I'm fighting is that the enemy sometimes come after you and he's fighting you, but he's fighting you with the agenda of God. And what the enemy doesn't know is he thinks he's winning, but he's breaking you in the places that God can't use. And that's what he's using to get in. And what God says is go ahead and break in that area so I can put you back. You like being negative, but let me put you back together. You like all of this. You like a little gossip. Let me expose you to that, and then let's break that in you. So watch this, y'all. So what you gave him was broken, but what he gave you back was wholeness. What you gave him was useless, but what he gave you back was useful. Oh. What he gave you, what you gave him was a test, and what he gave you was a testimony. Because guess what, y'all? It's your brokenness that qualifies you for the ride. I'm through. It's your brokenness. You thought it was you that qualified you, but no, it was the weakness of you that God says, watch what I can do with this useless thing and turn it into something worth my darling son Jesus. I'm through, y'all. I love y'all. I'm through. Thank y'all so much for joining us tonight. I got to stop because I'm stuck on this potter because he wants to put you back and you keep fighting him instead of fighting the enemy. I'm through, y'all. Don't do it to me because I'm trying to be good. I said I wasn't doing that tonight. I went too far. I said I was getting out here early. Thank y'all for coming. I love y'all. Y'all know the announcements. Thank y'all for being a part. Can I give y'all my challenge? I'm asking everyone to give a seed tonight, to sow something. So whatever you can. But what I'm asking is everyone that's blessed by what we do, here at Victory. We are a ministry that is a young ministry. We don't have 180 years of experience in kingdom work. We are a year and 11 months come next Sunday. Come Sunday. We're a year and 11 months old come Sunday. We still a baby. So I'm asking everyone to sow into this ministry. Bless us. We are not astute to be able to handle ministry without being in the building. We have our same situations that we would go through. No matter what, we ask that you be a part of what we're doing. I'm asking you to do this. If you are a guest, I'm asking you, even if I take you out, I don't ask you to pay for the meal, but good home teaching should ask you to at least tip. So I'm gonna ask you to give something. Victory. I'm gonna ask that you take care of what you need to do today. I'm asking everyone that is fed at this table within the next couple of days before Sunday. Don't put it with your Sunday offering. But between now and Sunday, sow a seed of $20 into the ministry. Let's do that. Let's be honorable. Let's be transparent. Let's do what we need to do through our seeds. You can give these ways on the screen here. You can give via text. You can give via Cash App. You can give via the website. You can give through our app. You can give through. You can give through our website. You can give through our app. You can give text. You can give Cash App. You can give PayPal. If you're not giving, it's not because of lack of ability or availability. So I'm thank you all for joining with us. Last but not least, our sermon for Sunday is this: the war on my wallet. I'm back in the pulpit Sunday. Y'all, I'm coming back. I'm back in the room. I'm back in the sanctuary Sunday. I'm gonna be in the building on Sunday morning preaching this word, the war on my wallet. I'm taking it back to 744 East Henderson Road Sunday morning. I spent 6 months in the house. I'm going back to the room on Sunday. So pray for me. Pray with me. Ask that God keeps me. It's just gonna be me and my son on Sunday. We asking that you pray with us. Join us Sunday for our time of worship, our time for prayer, that we can be as effective as we can and be. I'm expecting a mighty move of God, but that's what I'm asking you to pray for this word. Pray for what God is doing. I got a couple of surprises for y'all. Join us tomorrow night for our weekly prayer call. You'll be seeing that on our social media stuff going out. Thank you all. Love you all. Thank you for being a part. Thank you for what you're doing. If you're looking for a church home, I don't want to let this go by. If you're looking for a church home, please text Join Victory to 833-8489-7379. Send it to that number. Don't rush. Don't screenshot this, then text that number. We can put that in the chat for you. Text that number, join Victory to that number, and we will get right back with you. Thank you so much for being a part. Thank you all. I love you. If there's anything we can do, please let us know. I'm trying to make sure I'm covering everything. Again, Sunday's message, the war on my wallet. Oh my God, I'm expecting the move of God on Sunday, and we're going to sow Sunday supernaturally. So I'm asking that you pray now. Start praying now about the seed we're going to sow on Sunday morning at 10 a.m. The war on my wallet. I'm coming against that attack of the enemy that wants to keep you with just enough. We're going for that enemy on Sunday. Thank you all. I love you. And I want you to know one thing as I sign myself out, and y'all know I like ending with a praise break, a praise clip. So I'm going to tell you as on my way out, y'all, he did more than I ever expected. And no matter what I've been going through and dealing with, he's done more than I ever expected.
You did more than I ever expected. You did more than I ever expected. Come on, lift it up. Come on, say, you did than I ever expected. Come on. You did than I ever expected. Come on, say, you did more. You did. than I ever expected. Just lift up your hands in the praise of the Lord. It wasn't easy, but I stayed. It's gonna happen for the saints. It's gonna happen for the saints. You did more than I ever expected. Hallelujah. You did more. Come on, lift it up in this room. Say, you did more